Hi, I want to go over with you a way to take the questions that you're assigning to your students and pulling them into a smart notebook file so that you can work with your students, either in Google Hangout or any other platform that you're using. So the first thing that I do is I navigate, to the file that I'm sharing or to the assignment that I'm giving my students. So for these purposes, I'm going to Big Ideas and I'm going to the questions that I'm giving them. I also use PDFs that I upload into Google Drive, and they use Cami to annotate those their answers, and they send me the PDFs back. But I like using Big Ideas because it's pretty quick and easy, and the students seem to like using this platform. So I will go to the assignment and I'll click Preview, and I'll pull up the questions without the answers. I will also open a Smart Notebook file and I will name it the same name as my Big Ideas assignment, which is 9.4 volume of Prism. So save as 9.4 volume Prism Big Ideas. Okay. Always name your file first so that as you are working, you can save your file. I will also quickly write a title page so that as we're working, I know what file I'm looking at. The other thing I'm going to open is my screen capture. I have it bookmarked here on my toolbar. If it's not on your toolbar, you can right click on an empty spot on your toolbar and your screen will come up. So you can customize and pull different icons or different widgets. Scroll down to the bottom and look for screen capture. It's the camera. If you click on that, you can install it. I also have it bookmarked here on the bottom of my screen capture. So I'm going to open that up and I get 4 choices. I primarily use the first one, which basically lets me take a screenshot in a rectangle format. So I'm going to go back to the assignment and we'll start taking pictures of our questions. So you pick the first one, you left click where you want to start, drag your mouse across, let go, and you will hear that clicking sound like an old-fashioned camera, and you'll get a pop-up screen. This pop-up screen shows you what you captured. If you're unhappy with the results, click the X, and you can start all over again. Remember, left click, drag your mouse, where you get to where you want, release your mouse, and your screen will come back up. It defaults to the last option that you picked. I have been using this option a lot, send to a new page in Smart Notebook, but there are other options. You can send it to the current page in your Smart Notebook file. You can save it as a file on your desktop. You can choose a new location to save the file, or you can send it to your clipboard so that you can paste it someplace else, like in a Word file or in another Google Doc or in PageMaker Publisher, wherever you want to paste it. So for now, I'm going to send to a new page in Smart Notebook. So it pasted the file on this clean page of my notebook. So going back to the assignment, we're going to keep going. We're going to paste a couple of the questions. Again, click the button, the left mouse, drag and release, send to a new page. Okay, that should be enough. So if I go back to my Smart Notebook file, you'll see that each time I took a screen capture, it saved it to a new page on my file. So now I'm going to use my mouse and I'm going to put these images where I need them on the page. Normally I stick them in the upper left corner so I have all this space to write. If the image is too big or too small, I will come down to this little circle and I'll use that to resize my image. Once I get it where I want, I'm going to lock it in place. I can do that a number of ways. I can right click and I get this menu. or I can click in the upper right of the image where I get that little box with the arrow. I'll go down to lock, lock in place. And if you notice, it has a control keystroke, control K. So you can use that as your shortcut. So go to the next file, put it where you want, control K, locks it in place. Once it's locked, you can't move it. Again, put it where you want, control K, lock in place. Put it where you want, control K, lock in place. So the main reason, oh, and save. The main reason why I lock things is so that now I can draw all over the question. I can type things. Okay, and I can work with my student on this question. When we are done this slide, this page, before moving on to the other one, I will go back to my arrow. I'll point in the screen somewhere. I'll do Control A to select all, and I will delete. This deletes everything except for my question because my question is locked in place. If I didn't have it locked in place, when I did Control A, it would also select the question and I would delete the question as well. So make sure you lock your questions in place. That way you can reuse this file over and over again without having to save it or open up a new file, so that as you're working with your students, you have a fresh screen each time. I go through this process for every assignment that I send my kids. I've done it, now that we're working virtually, but I also do it when we're in the classroom because sometimes it's just easier to have a smart notebook file versus trying to navigate a PDF or a doc file. It's just easier for me and for the students to work this way, I found. So again, you use your screen capture tool. You use it to highlight whatever you want to capture. It takes a screen capture. You tell it where you want to save it. It opens up a new page in your screen in your Smart Notebook file with that new image. You right click, you lock the file in place, and you're all set. Don't forget to save your Smart Notebook file periodically so that you don't lose the things that you're adding to it.